Well, thank you all for coming today, and I'm pleased to be joined by our ranking member on the Environment Public Works Committee, Jim Inhofe. I'll call on him to make some comments, but I wanted to lay out for you a report called Yellow Light on Green Jobs. I am the ranking member of the new Green Jobs and the New Economy Subcommittee of the Environment and Public Works Committee. This report heeds the flashing yellow light of caution that green jobs should be sending all of us. This report reveals that many green jobs pay low wages, require expensive taxpayer subsidies, and kill existing jobs to create new green jobs. The lessons we should learn about the new Green Jobs program are: do not kill existing jobs to create new green jobs. Avoid expensive green jobs that require taxpayer subsidies. Promote green jobs that make economic sense. Green jobs are a hot topic today. President Obama spoke of green jobs in his Earth Day address last week. News outlets put out green job stories weekly, some even daily. The new Senate Green Jobs Subcommittee allows us to take a deeper look at green jobs programs, review what the experts have to say, examine real-world examples, and report back on what we find. As ranking member of the Green Jobs Subcommittee, I commissioned a review of green jobs programs. Staff reviewed dozens of reports on green jobs and accounts of real-world examples across the country. As you can see from the endnotes and the list of sources in the material you have, progressive policy groups, environmental groups, labor groups, and green jobs advocates provided the overwhelming source of material for this report. Their own materials provide us cause for concern. For example, a report by the Teamsters, the Sierra Club, and others found that many new green jobs offer subpar wages, less than the median wage needed to support a family of four, and not much above the federal poverty wage. That same report shows how state and local governments are spending as much as $100 million to subsidize, in many cases, only a few hundred green jobs. Several green jobs subsidies exceeded $100,000 per green job, and one was over $300,000 per green job. Proposals for federal green jobs programs millions of dollars. The Apollo Alliance, which includes United Steelworkers, the Environmental Group, NRDC, actor Robert Redford, submitted their program to create 5 million green jobs, which would cost $500 billion. You do the math. The Green Jobs program, pushed by the progressive policy group Center for American Progress, would cost 200 billion jobs. So we can see green jobs are not so much created as they are bought with massive taxpayer subsidies. To find this money, green jobs advocates support diverting revenue from climate change legislation. But climate change legislation will take literally trillions of dollars from consumers through higher energy prices. Climate change legislation will also kill millions of jobs in energy-intensive sectors such as manufacturing, especially in the coal-dependent southern and midwestern states like my home state of Missouri. So we have the ironic situation of green jobs advocates proposing to kill millions of existing jobs so that they can create fewer new green jobs. A major example of this dilemma, you can look to Newton, Iowa, where President Obama visited on Earth Day to tout green jobs at a new wind turbine assembly plant. Newton was the birthplace of Maytag, and generation of Newton workers supported their families by assembling washing machines. However, cheaper foreign competition meant the Newton plant closed, and their jobs were shipped to lower-cost Mexico. Now some of those unemployed workers have new jobs assembling wind turbines at a new turbine plant. What the president did not mention is that when Maytag closed, 1,800 workers lost jobs paying $20 an hour with health care benefits. The new wind turbine plant will employ only 700 workers and pay only $13 per hour. The lesson of this story is that when small-town middle America loses its manufacturing jobs, far fewer green jobs replace them, paying far less. Now, I'm sure the people of Newton are thankful to have new green jobs that came to their town. They're certainly better than no jobs at all, and I, too, support green jobs. My state of Missouri is a leader in renewable fuels, including ethanol and biodiesel. Missouri is a growing center for new battery technology used to power hybrid and plug-in cars. There's much more we can do and must do for nuclear power, the largest source of clean power we have. But what I cannot support, and what this report strongly urges against, is consciously choosing to impose trillions of dollars in new energy taxes or killing millions of existing jobs to fund new jobs creation. I also believe we must act very carefully before approving expensive taxpayer subsidies to pay for new green jobs. Paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to create a single green job does not make economic sense. I hope policymakers heed these lessons, and I look forward to your questions after I call on Jim Inhofe to offer any thoughts that he has.
Let me be real brief here. First of all, I'm very thankful as ranking member of the Environment Public Works Committee to have a ranking member of a subcommittee as active as Kit Bond is. This issue is one that we've been dealing with because there is no responsible answer when you talk about the number of jobs that will be lost. I've often said that even if you believe that man-made gases, anthropogenic gases, CO2, cause global warming, if you really believe that, then it still wouldn't make any sense to have us in the United States to unilaterally increase the cost of our generation of electricity, and we would lose, it's estimated, some 10% of the existing manufacturing jobs to go into areas where they don't have this, such as China and Mexico. Now, I think the three main points that are made were made by Kit Bond are, number one, even according to the coalition of environmental and labor organizations, that after tens of millions of dollars are spent, only a few jobs, 100 jobs will be created. Secondly, that the green jobs creation programs proposed by the advocates would cost billions of dollars. The amount of money that they have estimated over the last 3 years, or the amount of jobs that have been lost, and this is 10 years ago when the whole thing came up on the Kyoto Treaty and global warming, was about 4 million manufacturing jobs. The biggest and most significant part of this is I had an experience at our committee the other day, our transportation reauthorization, an area where Barbara Moxon and I, quite frankly, get along fine, which has surprised a lot of people. But she was talking about we don't have an adequate amount of money for the reauthorization. We're short about $160 billion for the next reauthorization for highways. She said, why don't we just take the money that's generated by the cap and trade? So everyone's out there spending this great big amount of money, but what they forget is this money is nothing but taxes on the poor people, because the poor people spend a larger percentage of their expendable income on heating their homes and on providing electricity, which they have to have. And so this is a huge tax increase. It's one that is going to generate a lot of money, and they talk about turning around and spending this on green jobs.